So you probably heard me say in an earlier episode that I welded these two together for stability. Well, I had to re-separate them again with a hole saw and take the weld off because there needs to go a spacer between them. So I've had to revert back to the original thing. Yeah. Okay, that's better. I'm having to modify my pen now. Always something. Always something. That's it. Scoring a dot on there. So this is the bracket on the bench now. And as you can see, because it's a bit of a mixture of different stuff, of things that aren't meant to go together, basically, these bolt holes aren't in use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a big hole through the middle and pop that right through the job lot, right through the casting. If I flatten that down, clamp that up, and then that way it's got some big strength holding it together, and then two smaller ones that, oh, the camera went off there, two smaller ones that I put some nuts on. And I even looked into getting some, I've never done it before, but some, I don't know what it's called, ferro nickel welding rods, which means you can weld the cast to steel. I've never used those before, but I think it might be worth just running a ring of that around it just to keep the strength in. Once I put that in, I'll put another one of these along here for added support onto there, and then get it all welded up properly, and then get it all bolted on. So that bracket is it's ready to get my brother to weld up properly. He's a lot better welder than I am. I've just tacked it together. It's exactly where it needs to be. It's all drilled, everything. I've just had it all assembled. I've just dismantled it all now just so it can be welded up properly. Once that's welded up properly, the fan job done. So that'll probably be tomorrow or the next few days. And that means I can move on to go and fetch the injector pump, which is in the back of my van. It's been in the back of my van for about 2 weeks now, when I've been and picked it up from Ben, who's got it all working and changed some of the parts in it, put some new parts in there. So I'm gonna go and get that now. I just found this plate which was lying on the side over there, which I've actually forgotten about, and that sits under the radiator feet. So there's actually quite a few more mil that will probably affect that ever so slightly. I don't get much wiggle room in the fan versus the shroud, but yeah, my measurements should have gone from there, not there, but hopefully it's not enough to make that much of a difference. Oops. And there we have it, sports fans. Pump is back. Need to turn it to match the timing mark. Where do I start? I think I start just by putting it on, right? Everything, yeah, nothing changed on the timing there, so the engine hasn't turned an ounce since it went. Put that line there, needs to match. There's a little marker on the side, which is beautiful. That's set to 16 degrees. It's got a little pin and little gauge on the front pulley, which I think is very useful. Not all engines have that there. It's usually on the back, but that's very visible and handy. Yeah, so just gonna get it on there. Rightio then, pump's all back on, everything's all plumbed back in. It took, it didn't take that long. It was, now I've had it off a couple of times, I know where things go, although I did think this was purely pump bolts and there's some left over, like a Lego kit, but they must be out of something else because there's definitely nowhere else for them to go. 4 mains in there, the rings in there, the bracket there, then everything else is just pipe work. So I'm not missing anything on the 2 bolts in there. So as far as I know, they must be from something else. Must be, gotta be. One of them's not even, that one's got blue on it, so that's definitely not from this engine. That's the old check. Anyway, new starter, another new starter. Pump's been seen to, and it's back on. I'm going to give a shout out to Ben Ryder, who helped me in my time of need with this pump. I couldn't get it firing any diesel out. It seemed stuck, and my initial thought of the rack being stuck turned out to be correct. He is a bit of a magician with this kind of stuff. He stripped it down, found the parts it needed, found the broken parts. I think I'll just put a little picture on there that he sent me of the broken part. Got it all nice and square and new parted up, built back up, and he got it firing diesel on his bench. And then because of that, it's meant that this now runs. It's something I couldn't have done, so big shout out and a thank you to him. He didn't want to be on camera. He said to me, I was like, I don't really want to be on camera, when he came for the day and tried to fix it on the tractor on here. So instead of that, I put a couple of pictures of his builds on here. He's got a Cummins in a 7610. He's got I think it's another 6BT Cummins in a major that he pulls with, and he's currently putting an 8.3 Cummins into a 5000. So we'll put some of them pictures on there and a little picture of him at the end that he'll hate, but I'm going to put it on. So yeah, thanks for that. I think in the next video now we'll get some juice down these cables and see if we can get any smoke popping out of the exhaust. I'd like to just get the radiator on first, which is a matter of literally putting it on, putting the pipe on, putting that into the return at the top of the radiator. The fan bracket, I'm just waiting on that getting welded up properly, and then I can mount that permanently. New belt, and then it's just tidy up work then if it's running. Little things, turbo pipe, air intake pipe, but these aren't super complicated things anymore. These are just tidy up jobs. I could get all the front grille back on and radiator and coolant in there. Still waiting on the right gear that's in there. I'm on a promise from someone, so I'm hoping that is the right gear and that comes good. But yeah, I'm not going to try it tonight. It's late, and there are neighbours who are asleep just there, and I want to go home. So if you watch the next video, chances are you might see a little bit of smoke. Here's hoping. If you did like this, don't forget you can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Any questions in the comments, I will try and get back to you about it, but I am no expert. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.